What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Sam2 Official back with another video. You dig what I'm saying? Today, I don't know what's going on and what I'm seeing right now. Because what I'm seeing is Brandin Cooks traded to the Houston Texans. Man, if you guys are new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, man. Give the video a thumbs up, man. Share this video with your friends. Hey, social videos are down below. Don't forget to check it out. I will be streaming tomorrow. Let's get right to it.
Houston Texans continue a busy off-season after trading DeAndre Hopkins to the Arizona Cardinals in mid-March. On Thursday, Houston acquires Brandin Cooks from the Rams. The deal, Cooks and a 2022nd fourth-round pick for Houston's 2022 round pick. All right, let's bring in our 2019 Fantasy Analyst of the Year, Jamie Eisberg, nobody better. Okay, this essentially becomes, when you look at all these deals for the Texans, they traded DeAndre Hopkins and they get back David Johnson, Brandin Cooks, and a fourth-round pick. I've oversimplified it a little.
Wait, hold on.
Deals for the Texans, they traded DeAndre Hopkins and they get back David Johnson, Brandin Cooks, and a fourth-round pick. I've oversimplified it a little, but that's basically it.
This is steal.
Brandin Cooks is a big part of that, and that's the player just comes over. Does he have much left? What
That's
do
a
you see
steal.
with Cooks?
Traded DeAndre Hopkins and they traded one player and they got some round pick, Brandin Cooks, or some other player.
I see an injury-prone receiver. You know, unfortunately, we've seen
That's
too many
actually
concussions
good.
over the last two seasons that have robbed him of what his potential could be. I mean, obviously a former first-round pick in the NFL draft. He's had some good performances, certainly in New Orleans, with the Rams, with the Patriots. His tenure with the Rams ended on a sour note because of the injuries last year. But if he can stay healthy and regain his form, it's not a bad savior to replace DeAndre Hopkins.
Oh yeah, Brandin Cooks was injured.
But this keeps Deshaun Watson afloat in terms of what he has in his arsenal.
Because Brandin Cooks
this
is nice,
Bill
bro.
O'Brien making another just
But
kind
his
of out there move.
injuries.
If you're going to keep a receiver that has a lot of money left on his deal, why not keep the better one in terms of DeAndre Hopkins? So I don't understand what Bill O'Brien has been doing. I think that goes without saying. Most people are a little bit confused of Bill O'Brien, the general manager. But in a draft class that's loaded with wide receivers, he probably could have just stayed.
Yo, like honestly,
in
like
the second round.
Bill O'Brien is actually cooking up some stuff in the pot in the background. Though. I'm not even lying to you. Like Bill O'Brien is actually trying to cook some stuff. You might, Texas fan, I know you might be like, bro, we lost DeAndre Hopkins, but look, give it a couple more weeks. Bill O'Brien got something in, bro. He got something in the bag for you guys, bro. He got something in the bag for you guys.
With the pick that they got for Hopkins. But you know what? If this is something that's going to make Deshaun Watson happy, you got to go out and get somebody. He was available, relatively cheap in terms of the cost, in terms of what Cooks could be. Just hopefully he stays healthy and can prove what he did in previous stops before what happened to him in 2019.
All right, the Texans seem to be collecting very fast wide receivers who are injury-prone, right? Who were first-round picks at some point. You have Brandin Cooks. You have Will Fuller. I sort of see them as playing essentially, in a lot of ways, the same role.
Kenny Stills.
Who's going to be the guy that
Wait, hold on. Is that Duke Johnson? Okay. Who's that? David Johnson. They got David Johnson. Kenny Stills, bro. Don't sleep on Kenny Stills, bro. He has potential. Don't sleep on Kenny Stills. They just got David Johnson. They got Brandin Cooks, Duke Johnson. Okay. All right. They got something in the bag. I feel bad for the Rams, bro. I know you guys just gave up an injured-prone player, but y'all have nobody. Other than defense. Defense is okay. You guys are crucial. You guys are crucial on defense. Offense, but nobody. You guys have nobody on offense. R.I.P.
I mean, we're talking fantasy-wise. It's Will Fuller has the highest ceiling. You know, we've seen that The rapport is obviously established. I think we're going to see with a lot of these teams, off-season being what it's going to be with not a lot of work, rapport, consistency, knowing the guy is probably going to matter more so than maybe what talent could be. But you said it best. Will Fuller's had a hard time staying healthy. Brandin Cooks has had a hard time staying healthy. So it's probably going to be one of these receiving cores like what Brandin Cooks left with the Rams, where
Ooh.
there's not just one standout guy.
Ooh. You heard that? Ooh. Imagine what imagine what Fuller and Brandon Cooks out for the season. That's a RIP get, bro. That's a RIP. With Fuller and Brandon Cooks, they're both kind of like not healthy a little bit. And then what if both of them out for the season? They still got Kenny Stills. They still got David Johnson. Nah, David Johnson is I'm tripping. He's a running back. What am I
It
talking
was
about?
Cooper Kupp. 1 week it was Robert Woods. 1 week it was Brandin Cooks. Probably the same thing with the Texans. I wouldn't undersell Kenny Stills just because he's been
Wait,
an
hold on.
underrated
Let
guy
me
in
stop.
Miami.
Let
He
me
was
actually
underrated a
check.
little bit last year. They also added
Is he a
Randall
running back?
Cobb. They have Kiki QT. So those guys are going to be involved as well. And obviously,
The chains get it done.
Yeah, he's a running back, bro.
wouldn't be surprising if he's the best one there.
Last one, and it's sort of a two-part question. Where are you with David Johnson? And given David Johnson and these moves and all that, where are you with Deshaun Watson? How has he sort of moved on your board since the end of last year?
Yeah, I'll start with Watson. He went from the number 3 quarterback for me when the offseason started behind Jackson and Mahomes, and now he's fallen all the way to 8. Now getting Brandin Cooks,
I'm
we'll
just
put him
this
back
whole
closer to 5
bro.
because again, it's another piece of this receiving core that if healthy, Cooks will
I
obviously
think
make
honestly,
Watson
like
that
if you want
much
to be
better.
honest, I think the Rams are giving up these players is because of the new update they did for the stadiums and how like the new looks and stuff like that. Like those stuff are expensive. So I feel like that's why they're giving up most of these players because they can't afford them. Why they have to pay for all these new stuff that are going up?
But you start to
Maybe
nitpick
that's
these
probably
guys
why.
when you're comparing Watson. I
It
think
makes
that best will
sense.
be number 6 because I'm going to keep him behind Kyler Murray, who I think has takes a step forward with DeAndre Hopkins. You and I have debated that one already, so we'll see where Kyler falls. Dak Prescott, Russell Wilson, he's behind those guys. But it's a matter of Watson stacking up to Josh Allen, Drew Brees, those type of quarterbacks at this point. He's not going to get back to number 3. In terms of David Johnson, again, it's a gamble. If he's healthy, he's going to be a great fantasy asset. You see what this team is starting to look
Bro,
like. You said, a lot of speed. So
David
defense.
Johnson, he's not healthy. Bro, if I'm getting this wrong, man, comment down below. Am I getting this wrong? You just said David Johnson is not healthy. Brandon Cooks not healthy. Whit Fuller not healthy.
Has to respect that when you have Fuller and Cooks on the same field, running routes. But as we saw last year, he got off to a good start in fantasy production, but he didn't look the same. Under 4 yards per carry, he looked like he lost a step. So we'll see where he is. For me, he's a low-end number 2 running back. I'm not going to get overexcited about David Johnson, but I do think that if you get him in the right spot, somewhere between round 4 and round
Don't sleep on David Johnson. I'm not gonna lie to you. Don't sleep on him. But let's see.
5 is the right place to look for David Johnson. Hopefully he's healthy. Hopefully he deliver something like we saw earlier in his tenure with the Arizona Cardinals.
Jamie Eisenberg is your 2019 Fantasy Analyst of the Year. Thank you so much for the time, bud.
You got it, man. Thank you.
You want more Jamie? You need more Jamie? We have more.
All right.
Fantasy Football Today. It's the podcast that I'm sure you've already downloaded and subscribed. And if you haven't, just do it now and we'll forget that you've been negligent.
Get right to the
Breaking down the news and what's happened. So, again, the Houston Texans and Bill O'Brien, they make another deal. What do you make of this deal? How'd this unfold? What do we know?
It's baffling. Brandon Cooks has been available forever because the contract's bad and because the player, unfortunately, has a vicious concussion history and has an inability to stay on the field on top of it. And
So
is
he's
also,
injured from concussion.
for
Okay.
whatever reason, worn out his welcome in a lot of places.
But honestly, like I'm not gonna lie to you, like the new Rams logo is like actually kind of tough. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like look at this. Like you can see the Rams horn right there, and it says LA. It's
Short
tough.
period of time. So the Rams thought they were stuck with this contract, and not only is it not a salary dump, they actually get incredible value in return because they're going to be able to draft a superior player making a fraction of the money with the pick they get from Bill O'Brien.
Okay. Okay, Rams.
There's a reason why the best organizations have checks and balances. There's a reason why the best organizations have separation of church and state from the coaching side and the football operations side. And there's a reason that the Houston Texans look like a disaster waiting to happen. And this is one more reason.
I told you.
Fantasy football.
I told you. There is a disaster. There is a disaster waiting to happen, bro. Again, Whit Fuller is not healthy like that. Brandin Cooks is not healthy like that. David Johnson is not healthy like that. What if they all gets injured or gets not healthy? They don't get healthy and they can't play the games. That means that the Texans is losing because Deshaun Watson cannot play every position. Deshaun Watson cannot play wide receiver. He cannot play running back. So it's a 50-50 chance, if you ask me, of this package being successful. Because if it's not successful, it's bro, Rams, you guys need to draft one more, pick up one more person, one more wide receiver. In case, a backup wide receiver. Because I feel like this is a 50-50 chance. And most likely, it won't work.
All trades.
I said Rams, Texans. Those Texas fans, comment down below. How do you guys feel about this trade? Because like I told you, 50-50%. You might be hyped right now. You got Brandin Cooks. Yeah, we got Brandin Cooks. But Brandin Cooks is not healthy like that. Brandin Cooks can end up having another concussion in the season and might end up missing the whole season. And you got Whit Fuller. Whit Fuller was barely playing games last season. It was Kenny Stills. Kenny Stills was basically taking his spots most of the games. Whit Fuller was not really healthy like that. When it came to the playoffs, yeah, he was playing in the playoffs. But in the regular season, he was not there. So Texas fans jumping up and down right now, hyped up. You better calm down. Just think about it the other side.
Trading people, and Brandin Cooks has been a declining asset for years now. And when Bill Belichick, pretty good coach, says, I'm done with this guy after a year. Sean Payton, pretty good coach, says, I'm done with this guy after a year. And Sean McVay, pretty good coach, says, I'm probably stuck with this guy, but I'd love to get rid of him. And then he gets a 2 for him. I'm going with those 3 and not the one who gave up the 2 for him.
All right, but the Texans are at least, I got to believe they think they're doing what's best for their franchise.
They think.
At the end of the day, if we're oversimplifying this, they traded DeAndre Hopkins for David Johnson, Brandin Cooks, and a 4th-round pick. I've oversimplified it a little, but that's what they got back. Like, if you were the lawyer for the Texans and we were sort of in a courtroom, sometimes you got to represent somebody you don't necessarily believe the case, but you got to put the best face on it. Sell me as a Texan fan. What are we thinking? Can you, if you had to, give me the Texan side of this.
Can you plead insanity? I don't know. I'm not a very good public defender, and in this case, I feel like that's the type of client I'm taking on. It doesn't look. David Johnson was an albatross of a contract. It was deemed to be untradeable. One man stepped up and said, "Nah, give it to me, and I'll trade you my second best player for it." Bill O'Brien. Brandin Cooks, the market had spoken. It's not as if the Rams had not been trying to unload this contract for a long time.
They have.
He was deemed untradeable. One guy stepped up and said, not only will I take it, I'll give you a 2nd-round pick in a draft where there's going to be 5 wide receivers at that same position taken in the 2nd round.
And he'll be making more money than him.
This guy, who in most years
and might be nice than him.
Because the class is so deep, they're not going to be this time. And yeah, let me take on that contract and let me take on the damaged goods. It's the same guy, Bill O'Brien, the same guy who gave away Jadeveon Clowney and paid half the salary to do so. I mean, so no, I don't know if that's a valid defense or not. Pleading insanity.
It's not.
I don't think it is, bro.
There are major issues.
I don't think it is.
Major issues there.
Listen, I
And
didn't
this
give
thing is
you.
whenever we play football again.
Yeah, I didn't give you an easy
This thing's
task
coming
there.
to a head whenever we play football again.
Yeah, look, Cooks in the last three quarters of the season.
I don't have the proper training.
Yeah, he had 23 catches and caught 1 touchdown in the last 3 quarters of the season. You mentioned the concussion issues, didn't play the last 2 games, plus a bad contract, and they gave him for a second and only got back a fourth. So, okay. Deshaun Watson has been disgruntled publicly, Twitter, that kind of thing. Is this going to make him happy? I mean, is that the way we can spin this, or is he going to be scratching his head?
Nah, bro. I don't think Deshaun Watson will ever get over this, bro. If you look at the highlights of the season, most of Deshaun Watson's passes was from DeAndre Hopkins. Go and look at his highlights from this season. Most of the passes he was doing, I mean, we all know he was running sometimes, but most of his passes he was throwing it to DeAndre Hopkins. So I don't think he's going to get over this. I think he might have his third eye open and see what's really going on.